the changes that I've been feeling have been really internal, like kind of hard to describe. So I've been trying to figure out how to put it into words. I needed some kind of direction to go. I didn't really know how to make myself vulnerable enough for help, so I kept trying to pretend like I had it under control, like, because I felt like I came in here almost like a dead cold energy, and I left feeling like warm and like recharged. Really detached myself and was like almost like angry at my body. Yeah, and so then like this, I felt like, I just felt like I started to really like love it again. And like I wanted to support it.
Awesome. Welcome, Jessie. I invite you to tune in and listen to her share some of her struggles of what it's like to live with Lyme disease, and just how impactful, no matter what your circumstances, tuning in and developing more self-love can have a really positive effect on your life and your body. We're ready.
Yeah.
We're ready to talk about this.
I'm so ready.
Cool.
Because honestly, like the changes that I've been feeling have been really internal, like kind of hard to describe. So I've been trying to figure out how to put it into words.
This is week 6. Would you just say your name
Okay.
for our audience, if anybody is going to see this someday?
Jessie Bleiler.
And what are you currently dealing with?
I have Lyme disease and a laundry list of
All right, now forget about
other
them.
things to go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when I heard about that, I really wanted you to be a part of this, because I was super hopeful that this stuff could help.
Yeah. And I was super, usually I'm a really optimistic person, but when it actually became like me with a big diagnosis, then I got really pessimistic. And so I knew that I needed to reach out so that someone could be like, hey, maybe make it not as big of a deal for me. But also just I needed some kind of direction to go. And I was I had that feeling of, even though it's totally far from the truth, but I had that feeling of, I've done so much to take care of myself, what now? I've done all this stuff to take care of myself, so what am I supposed to do? And I still have this, and I was the starting point.
So let's go with that. When you said that, and then now looking at it now, how would you reframe that, or what's your new outlook on that?
My new outlook on that was that I just I knew that wasn't true, but I was saying that to maybe make myself feel like I did something, or that I was in control. And I knew that, but I secretly kind of knew I wasn't, and that I needed more help, but I didn't really know how to make myself vulnerable enough for help, so I kept trying to pretend like I had it under control, and I kind of do that, I think, in a way to make myself feel stronger when I'm not, just kind of but I did this.
Yeah. But you took the step, you showed up here, we're in week 6. Describe a little bit of the process, and then I want to talk about our assignments this.
Yeah, so I would say the session I remember the most would be my first session, because I felt like I came in here almost like a dead cold energy, and I left feeling warm and recharged. And I felt, and a lot of thing too is that I struggle really bad with my circulation, so I felt such a change in that, but I actually just felt charged, and I felt nothing but happy. And then once we started getting into it, week by week, a lot of sad emotions came out, and I realized, because I came in here thinking it's all about my body. It's all about my body. It's all about how sore I am, how I feel physically. And once it just totally changed from like, I'd say like week 3, like it was like, oh no, it's totally about my emotions. and then like week 4, I was like, I am a mess. Like every session I feel amazing, but I just had to think about my stuff. I had to think about it, and then it wasn't scary though, because I was like, oh, okay, like this feels really good, because I actually was just picturing like the anger and the crying, and then it was just kind of leaving. Like I was like letting it, I was allowing it to happen instead of being afraid of it, afraid of my emotions.
So what about this study do you think gave you the strength or the technique or the ability to do that?
Having to face myself every week and having to talk to you about how I feel and having to really think about it. And then also something that happened, I was so sore and I felt so horrible. I actually like really barely even touched myself. Like I had like no yoga practice, like what didn't really like even like the sore spots, I was just kind of like afraid of them, really just kind of like.
This was before or during?
Before.
Okay.
Like before we started everything, I was like just kind of really depressed, I guess I'd say, but also like I kind of I didn't really recognize my body a lot. And I felt totally different than I usually did. Like even when we'd be at the studio and I'd be practicing yoga, I felt like that was a different person. This person has a hard time walking downstairs. This person has a hard time washing her hair because her arm hurts too bad. And so I just kind of like really detached myself and was like almost like angry at my body.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so then like this, I felt like, oh, like I just felt like I started to really like love it again. And like I wanted to support it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool.
Yeah, because I felt really safe and supported anyways.
Good.
Through this, so.
Good. And that's
and it
one of my
me up.
desires is to like that's one of the layers that you receive through going through this. It's so layered.
It is. That's why I'm like, how do I even put it really in the words? Because that's what I'm like, I'm trying to really think, because I could go off like on little tangents about each thing. Yeah.
Well, I'm really grateful that you one, reached out and then accepted this.
Yeah, no, I'm grateful for you.
It takes a lot for us to receive, especially when we're in a downward spiral and feel like everything is closing in on us. It's really hard to.
I would say one of the feelings with that I've really that I was thinking, that's what I was thinking about telling you, is guilt. That's like was my main feelings of like, I knew I needed help, but I always felt like kind of guilty always needing help. And like I feel like I've totally accepted certain things, but it's almost allowed me to be able to be more for other people, because I'm like, it's not a bad thing. It's okay.
Yeah.
Like it's okay.
Yeah.
You're not burdening me. Like let me just let you do that. Like I don't know. So accepting myself like has totally. Yeah.
That's so cool. Going forward, going into this week 6, and then thinking about the next 4 weeks.
Yeah.
What's your game plan? What are you thinking about?
Well, one, like continuing, I'm not gonna like just all of a sudden change what I've been doing for the next 6 weeks, like, oh, I'm done, like take a break. Because now it's like it's actually become where it's my habits, it's my like in my daily thing. Because if I even miss out like on a day of really like checking in with myself, I feel it already within like a couple days, where I'm like, oh, I'm starting to like really detach a little bit and make emotions bigger than they are, of like, oh, I'm sad about this. Well, no, not really. I just need to like get out, and I need to, and I'm okay. or it's okay. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It just feel like I have tools now.
That's so great.
I guess that's the best way I could say it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't feel overwhelmed. I feel like, and nothing really has changed externally in my life, but internally I feel like I can manage it.
One of the ways I like to describe this process is it's not that it's taking your stress away.
Yeah.
But it somehow makes you stronger in your ability to deal with the stress that's coming up.
Yeah. And I feel like I recognize stuff more for what it is than I did before, because before I was just in such a fight or flight mode. Every little thing was a big thing. Like it was a lot. And I thought, I can't deal with it. But I realized like I can deal with it because I have to anyways. And I'm going to do it in some way or another. I'm going to just like store it in my body somewhere, and it's going to show up as pain in a little bit, or I'm going to really face it, I guess. But it's not hard to anymore.
That's awesome.
I guess. I feel like, this is what I wanted to tell you. Like, I kind of felt like, like frayed wires, like kind of like just like everything was like really sensitive and a lot, and I just kind of feel like refreshed, like cool, like a lot of fires put out. Like, I don't know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What would you tell somebody that has been asked to do this but hasn't felt like they could yet?
Just start somewhere, like anywhere. And don't feel like it's a job or it's like something you have to accomplish. And like, if something feels like too much, just don't do it. Or like, if you feel like, don't force anything, but allow yourself to try it. Allow yourself to try something new. And I dare you to try it once and see if you don't like it, which I 100% doubt. Just get there.
Yeah.
Just try it. Just allow yourself. Yeah, start somewhere.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
And I'm excited about the future.
Me too. And I feel like it's exceptionally cool that I went into 2020 with all this. And through the holidays and through everything, like, yeah.
So what's this new year mean for you?
I feel like...
What's your mantra?
My mantra for this year? I'm not really sure, but I just keep thinking of, like, it's open and I feel free. Like, I feel, like, free and me and childlike for this year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's so great. It's a good creative space to be in. All right.